I'm just leaving a dentist. I was going to cancel. I'm actually glad I went. I love getting my teeth cleaned. One thing that a lot of people don't realize about me is I love going to the dentist. I've loved going to the dentist ever since I was a kid. My teeth scrubbed. It's kind of a thing. It's kind of a vibe. I had a really bad full day of eating yesterday. So I need to go get some fresh food. It's very warm today. It's almost 80. And so I need to do that. I also need to pick up my acid reflux medication because I am fresh out. I need toothpaste. I'm running out of toothpaste. So I'm going to go do a couple of runs really quick. Hey guys, it is Tuesday. Just wanting to check in. Just kidding. Today's Monday. And I wanted to do a follow-up to week 1 of the Success Principle, taking 100% responsibility for my life and really implementing that into my week. And the one thing I realized is that I think I do take accountability really well. However, there are certain parts of my life that I know that are not working and I keep making the same mistakes. So I spent this past week doing a lot of the work in the workbook and doing the exercises. If I even take like 5% more responsibility in my life, what would that be? And so for me, if I were to take 5% more responsibility in my health and wellness, well, this weekend, I did not take 100% responsibility with my health and wellness because I had a really poor eating day on Friday. And yes, mistakes were made, but like I had takeout twice, which is not the norm. I've been doing so well, eating at home, cooking my own food. It's been good. And then I just had like an emotional meltdown on Thursday and Friday. And I was just like, that's it. I'm just going to order takeout, whatever. So now I'm paying the price. And so I'm again craving food like crazy. So that's something I need to work on, is really taking 100% responsibility with my health and wellness and my fitness and financial. That's another thing that I'm really working on, is that I get into these comfortable patterns, even though it's not a positive thing that could be going into my life. That, for instance, you know, you're not supposed to spend money over budget, but then you find yourself making allowances for things. And so that's another thing I need to work on. This week, we are focusing on success principle number 2. We are trying to figure out, we have to know why we're here. What is our purpose in life? And so one of the things that you guys are going to do this week, which you guys will come along with me for that, is writing down what I'm good at, making a list. What are you good at? Write it down. And then you need to ask people around you that you trust and say, what are the things that you think I'm really good at? And we're going to develop a purpose statement. And when I go home, I'll probably follow up on this and talking about my purpose statement and what I want to do with my life. And we'll move on from that and work on success principle number 3 next week. So we're going to figure out, what do you feel like, or what do you know is true that you're supposed to be doing here on this earth that is your mission? And everyone has a personal mission, and some people know right away. People know from birth. A lot of people, they spend their whole life looking for it. For me, my purpose, at least I feel like it's getting more clear, is really to help people to become their most authentic self and the best version of themselves. And so I'm taking you guys along with me on my journey so that you can use me as almost like a guinea pig on the small micro actions that you can take into your life, change your life. So I talk about fitness a lot because that's what's important to me, but I'll give you an example. So I'll talk about someone else's experience that I wanted to share today. But, you know, I was talking to someone and they had a huge medical emergency and basically their heart stopped, and luckily they were able to bring them back. But it was kind of like a domino effect of not taking 100% responsibility for this person's health. And unfortunately, it caught up with them. And so it's really like not taking your health and wellness for granted. So for this person, they knew that they needed certain treatments and they didn't want to do that. and they either didn't want to do that or they were scared to do the treatment that's been asked. And so there was a consequence for that. So anywhere in your life where you're struggling, get honest with yourself. And then we're going to figure out what that purpose is for you in your life. And then if you're living your life and your purpose currently, there's a lot of people who are not. So we got to figure out what that purpose is, take 100% responsibility for that purpose. And then if you're not living that purpose now, what are you going to do? How are we going to implement that into your life? Another thing that I am focusing on is gratitude. That's something that I really need to work on. So some of the things that I've been doing kind of boost my mood, because I tend to come in the morning like not super positive, always grumpy in the morning. So I figured today, so I'm going to turn on my affirmation songs from Romeo Marquez Jr. You guys can download it on Apple and Spotify, his music. And I just play that 20 minutes on the way into work. And that, his good morning song always makes me smile. And so I've been doing that. And then I was walking to the restroom and I decided to do another exercise that we have been doing, which is a rampage of appreciation. So I just looked around me and I spent a couple minutes just saying what I was grateful for. And it could be little things. So for instance, there's this like beautiful plant that has a flower on it, and it's like a bright, beautiful, vibrant orange. And so I was like, you know what? I'm so grateful for whoever planted that, because it really puts like a pop of color, because the building's kind of gray. And so it helps to liven up the space. And I also was grateful for being able to come out here and hike every day. And for the most part, I'm usually on my own out here, which is great. And I need that quiet time. So something else I'm grateful for. So take like 4 minutes of your day. You can do this when you're driving. And think of take the 4 minutes and find as many things that you can appreciate in your life. It could be a person, it could be a place or a thing, whatever you want. And do that for a week and see what happens. And then we'll also talk about purpose. And once I get home, I'll pull out the book and we'll start all working on our purpose statement. And I will give you guys a refresher and reminder of what my purpose is. Just getting ready to go for a hike. I'm putting all my stuff away. I did want to update you guys. I had like another rough eating day. It was our boss's birthday today, and they brought nothing but cake. And if you haven't had one of their cakes, like, they're so delicious. And so I had like one slice, and of course it's like sweet and sugary, and of course I wanted more, and so I had like one more slice. And like I was like, oh, great, you know, I'm like back in that pattern. I've had like, it's been warm, so I had like ice cream a couple of nights. And I'll tell you what, as soon as I finished eating, my belly hurt, but it felt good going down. Admit that I kind of stumbled on that. One of the things that I really need to work on is having a better relationship with food, and also a better relationship with how I talk to myself. I'm putting my socks on. I kind of feel like I'm having a Mr. Rogers moment, you know, when he like puts on his shoes before he's like about to leave for the day. So I need to really work on my mindset game. I have been really dedicated to that. I was talking to my friend Teresa today and told her I was really focusing on my mindset. And so I kind of shared what I was like doing, because I just recommitted myself after BTS, because I'm like, I've been to 3 of these in person, 1 online, and still I am stumbling over my limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs mess up your life. They hold back your dream. Not a positive thing. So I've been really paying attention to how I'm speaking to myself. And what's funny is that if you ever really like listen to your thoughts, for me, it's comfortable to speak negatively to myself. Like, to me, that's like normal. And it's like uncomfortable to talk to myself in a positive manner. It's really weird. And I ended up, I think it was like my first year, I got to go up on stage with Jack, and he did this muscle testing thing on me. And one of the questions that I had for him was that I do all this positive stuff, but I still feel like it's not quite getting through. And I completely will cancel out anything positive in my head when I'm like learning something new or positive. It just immediately just wants to go back to negative. What he recommended at the time was to do EFT tapping. And so that I'm doing that every night right now. So I know I'm only a couple of weeks into like back to reality in life, but I'm really working on my money game, my relationship with food. And what I discovered at BTS, what I learned about myself, or what I rediscovered, was just how impactful it was for me growing up and struggling with my weight. Having like things that I loved or things that I didn't like, as they weren't like a positive things, they were meant for me to like lose weight. I have a negative relationship with my communication on my health and wellness, and I'm really trying to focusing on being as healthy as possible and longevity versus like a size. Because like right now my weight's up, and it can be really frustrating when you are constantly going on the scale and you're seeing your number go up, but it's not telling the whole story of like how much muscle you're putting on and all that great stuff, tracking body fat. But I just wanted to like be able to enjoy working out and having fun and get back to that focus. And now that I'm like in my 40s, I used to be able to go to the gym 6 days a week. And now I realize I need a balance. So I need to do walking and also hit the gym, but also like to change things up. So I'm not really going to the gym on the weekends so much because my body just needs to rest. Sometimes it's just like, it's done. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of resting and working on my mindset. I need to work on the balance of the nutrition part. I'm challenged by eating healthy, and I would prefer to have delicious food and takeout and go out and have sugar all the time, but that's not going to help me towards my goal of longevity. The purpose of me sharing my fitness journey, I know that a lot of the reasons why we as women struggle with our weight, yes, it's like your eating habits, but it's really about how you feel about yourself. I know that to be true for myself, that when I'm feeling upset about something, I will want to eat. If I'm feeling happy, I want to eat. But usually it's like when I'm like worried about something or upset, I'll just be like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a snack on the way home, and it's going to make me feel better. And that's something I need to find some alternatives for instead of like snacking. And I'm a big snacker. I love to snack. And just replace it with something else like more positive. I am going to be sticking with the success principles and sharing that with you guys. And I'm taking 100% responsibility and accountability for eating cake and ice cream this week and having takeout on the weekends. I know that's like okay for some, but for me, it's like, it's triggering. So I have to be really careful how often I eat out or how much sugar I allow into my diet, because it's like a domino effect. Back on it, I have my water and trying to kick up my water game again. I did get to bed early at 12:45. That's early for me. And so I felt really good last night that I got everything that I needed to get done, except for editing this video, which I completely spaced on. But I got everything else done so that I can just go to sleep. Also, I'm dealing with procrastinating on a lot of issues, and that's something I also need to work on. One of them is my car and dealing with that issue. And then, you know, I have some other financial stuff that I need to take care of, and I just cannot seem to get into alignment with that. I have some feelings about that. I definitely have some money mindset issues that I have to clear. Really encourage you guys to grab the book, The Success Principles. Come along with me. Leave me a comment in the video. Make sure you guys subscribe, because I'm halfway there. I'm almost there to my 500 subscribers. And for a lot of people, they're going to be like, oh, you only have 500. What happened to like 1 million or whatever? I appreciate every single person that has watched my YouTube shorts, that watched some of my old videos. And I thank you guys for that. And I want to grow the channel, because I know there's so many people, especially in your 40s, that are really trying to change your mindset and move forward in your life and to really focus on health and wellness in a positive way. and use fitness for a reward and a punishment. I'm on the same boat as you. My main thing is just trying to lean down and get that body fat off so that I can feel good about myself. And it's mainly just feeling healthy and feeling light, and I miss that feeling. So anyways, I hope you guys will join me next week. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.